Hey, SEGways! Today we're back with the Paranormal Files. Doing a video on Colin is always bittersweet. I like Colin, but the videos are always so long. But it's okay, I'm gonna get on with it, because all said and done, I chose this video, so I got no one to blame but myself for having to sit through 3 bloody hours of it.
Make it stop!
It may come to a surprise to no one that nobody was actually trapped in the house. And there were not any demons in this house, and that's according to the property owner herself. So already we're off to a great start. Before I go any further, I have to thank all of my awesome members and patrons as usual for your amazing support. The vote this time round was between Most Haunted, The Paranormal Files, and another fake medium summoning the spirits of Michael Jackson. Cause yeah, believe it or not, there's more than one of them. The Paranormal Files were the clear winners, and that's great, because I had this video planned to do for some time now. If you wish to get involved in my next vote, please consider becoming a member or a patron. The link is in the description. So, on with the video.
On tonight's episode, we're investigating a house known to be a portal.
We've had men who investigated here thrown across the room.
Of course, there's no footage of this.
Is that you?
It's twerking! The stick figure is twerking. I've never seen one of these twerk on an SLS cam before. God, you have no idea how much I actually want this to be a twerking ghost.
On tonight's episode...
Colin, why the hell are you using a Gary Glitter song here? Da da da! Hey! What a nonce. What's next? R. Kelly? I know it's not actually Gary Glitter before anyone shouts at me in the comments, but it does kind of sound like it.
On tonight's episode of the Paranormal Files, we're investigating a house known to be a portal. Welcome to the OP Pile Mansion here in Mineola, Texas.
You sexy motherfucker, you.
Every single room inside of this mansion is haunted by a different entity.
Every single room in this mansion is haunted by a different entity. Just let that sink in for a minute. Every single room? This place has more ghosts in it than fucking Hogwarts.
There's an angry demonic man in the carriage house, children who died of scarlet fever in the upstairs, and even the owner's husband who makes an appearance from time to time.
You are not going to believe how the owner's husband makes an appearance in this video. It's one of the most bizarre things I've ever seen, and I watch crazy paranormal videos for a living.
From here in Mineola, Texas, it's Colin Browen. Thank you guys for joining us tonight for another episode, and welcome to the Paranormal Files.
I said this before in the last video I made on Colin. I like the guy. I like the Paranormal Files. Their videos are bonkers, so please go watch the original Paranormal Files video for yourself. It's definitely entertaining. Also, I don't really want to make too big a deal of this, but Colin put out a video about 5 or 6 months ago explaining that he's a recovering alcoholic. No jokes here. I honestly hope Colin is doing well, and I wish him nothing but the very best battling his addiction. In this video, Colin explains that one of the reasons he turned to drink was the criticism he was receiving on YouTube. Now, I am a firm believer that if you put something out there for the world to see on this platform, that you have to expect criticism. Obviously, Side-Eye Guy is no exemption from this.
How dare you!
But I'm not a total dickhead. So whatever I have to say about Colin, because not all of it is going to be sunshine and rainbows, can we please not give him too much hate in the comments on his videos? And even dial it back just a little bit in this video. I think that's fair.
There it is right there, actually. The OP Pile House. Wow. Take a look at that thing.
Wow.
It looks freaking creepy, doesn't it?
Wow.
I don't know. Looks pretty nice to me. Dare I say from the outside, picturesque. Funny enough, the owner of this property has an online business where she sells things like herbal remedies and stuff like that. They also do lots of meditation and yoga classes. And in the website, she shows photos of this house as a location where they host some of these meditation and yoga stuff. So it can't be that scary if she's using this place for stuff like that. Anyway, Colin is joined on this investigation by his brother-in-law, Connor, who's always great for a laugh.
I tend to get targeted
Brandon, his mum Mary, and his dad Jeff, or Papa Spooks, which is nice. I mean, most families spend their holidays on the beach or something, but the Browans go to haunted houses. To each their own.
You can tell how haunted a place is going to be literally sometimes just by how it looks on the outside.
This statement from Colin really does speak volumes.
This investigation turned out to be one of our deepest that we've ever done and really poses some questions about the afterlife and what it means. I mean, I get chills thinking about some of the things that happened during this investigation.
Those chills are from cringe overload.
Let's take a tour.
Hello, I'm Heidi Hoke, and we're at OP Pile House.
I have a lot of mixed feelings about Heidi, but she is the star of this video. There is a lot to unpack about Heidi, so I started looking into her online history, and I don't want to bore anyone too much about this, so I'm going to keep it as brief as I possibly can. Heidi Hoke from her LinkedIn page seems to be very well educated, and I mean very well educated, with a bunch of important looking letters right next to her name, which an idiot like me doesn't even understand what they even stand for. But the big one I do see is PhD. If you read her LinkedIn page, it's full of a bunch of woo-woo new age medical stuff that, again, I don't really understand. Her company is Vitae Pandora, a university which offers, and I quote, accredited degree programs within the College of Natural Medicine, College of Metaphysics, School of Engineering, and School of Agriculture. Heidi is also the chancellor for her own prestigious university. At the time of making this video, when I checked the website for her university, the page no longer exists. When I check where Heidi got her PhD from, on her LinkedIn, it states it's from the Kingdom College of Natural Health. This college is registered in Guam, which, surprise, surprise, is a well-known tax haven. You might also notice some of the letters next to the Kingdom of College and Natural Health reading KCNH. When I look into this, it's pretty funny, especially when you read the small print.
Kingdom College of Natural Health, Inc. is an education provider and does not issue board or other certifications or license to practice. Our graduates must not represent themselves as licensed medical practitioners, nor claim to treat, diagnose, cure, or prescribe. We strongly advise students and graduates to avoid any professional conduct that could be interpreted as examining, diagnosing, or treating clients for any disease or disorders, injury, physical and or mental condition. In addition, the students of KCNH understand that diagnosing disease, dispensing drugs, and or performing surgeries can only be done by formal, trained, and licensed medical professionals.
But surely that's all just some legal jargon that nobody should ever really pay attention to. So let's look at the Kingdom College of Natural Health's website. Here is a great example of the hard, rigorous studies you have to complete in order to get your qualification. A massive 16 sessions, which will take you an enormous amount of time, adding up to around 17 hours and 25 minutes to complete. The cancer section is 30 minutes long, but it's okay because the all-important herbs, berries, and other healing substances is 90 minutes. And this fantastic education comes at you at a mere $4,500 to obtain this accredited qualification. These education titles that Heidi flaunts on her LinkedIn are all purchased. She is no more qualified to diagnose or attempt to cure anyone's ailments than a traffic warden.
Starting here at the big wraparound porch, we have our first paranormal site. We have had numerous figures and animated type entities seen numerous times.
Do you actually believe the crap that comes out of your mouth?
Yes. This right here is the point of activity. And I think throughout history, as we go along and learn of the history, we'll see that there's really no specific thing about the porch. It's the land. It's about the land because the land holds so much wonderful, wonderful, rich opportunities of historical relevance.
Yes, let's get into Heidi's version of the history of this land.
The property site is on a 2-block area where about approximately 600 unmarked graves have been noted.
For those of you who watched my last Paranormal Files debunk video, you may be getting some deja vu with Steve, the eccentric owner of the House of the Dead, who made some very similar claims about his haunted house sitting on unmarked graves.
There's 100 bodies that are still here.
Which I proved was nonsense. And I had a sneaking suspicion the same may well be the case for Heidi. So I started researching into Heidi's claim that her house sits on a 2-block radius where around 600 unmarked graves were discovered. I was looking and looking to try and confirm anywhere online that could confirm this, and the only sources I could find kept coming back to Heidi. So I started searching in the local historical newspaper, but still nothing. Then I found a historical repository that had the town's historical papers, and finally I found what I believe was the original story that Heidi had stolen and used for herself. The text of this article might be a little bit difficult to read since it's such an old paper dating back to 1944, but you can see the title clear as day, marking about 600 unmarked graves at Sand Springs nearly completed. Here is Sand Springs Cemetery. There's about a 4 miles distance between this cemetery and the O.P. Pyle house. In my opinion, Heidi stole this story to make her haunted house sound more credible. The article itself is about the tireless efforts of J.H. English, who dedicated himself to getting markers on all of these unmarked graves in the cemetery, so they are no longer unmarked. But of course, Heidi doesn't acknowledge J.H. English's achievements or dedication whatsoever. So just to make this clear, everyone, much like Steve from the House of the Dead,
There's 100 bodies that are still here.
there is nothing I can see to back up Heidi's claims that any bodies are buried in or around her house. The closest dead bodies I can see are in a cemetery, exactly where they belong, 4 miles from her house. Now, I know I've come at Heidi pretty hard from the start here, but I am going to try and dial it back a bit, because there is so much more going on here with Heidi, as you're going to see for yourself as the video goes on.
So let's go in the front door.
Okay. 600 graves?
600 is what they've calculated. Oh, come on! So here in the foyer, we have one particular past resident that likes to plant herself right here, and she likes to look through the window as people knock on the door and not answer the door.
What a shocker that it doesn't open the door, because that would actually show that it exists.
So this is historic in that this was a crochet dress that my mother made for me for my wedding, and she hand crocheted it. I have it up for display. She also is very prevalent in her presence here in the house.
Your mum or the mannequin?
She passed in 2015, and she's since then certainly had her mark here in the house.
I'm starting to understand now why Heidi says the house is so crowded with ghosts. But hey, if Heidi believes her mum is with her in the house and this brings her comfort, then who am I to mock that? I am a dick, but I'm not that much of a dick.
Dick.
Yeah. Okay. If you smell that is paranormal. I don't have anything like that.
It doesn't have a sweet tobacco smell to me. It's more of a pungent.
It's pungent. That would be O.P. Pyle. The sweet cherry tobacco. Now I'm smelling a cherry.
Guess what I'm smelling?
Can you smell that? What is that? Sheep, is it? It's cows? No, I know what it is. It's bullshit.
Another person that is very prominent in this room that I must mention. My husband passed in March of this year, and this was one of his favorite rooms as well.
So this is where I've got to be very careful with Heidi. For what is to come later in this video is nothing short of insane, but Heidi is a grieving woman, and of course I do sympathise with her. But there's no easy way to say this. As far as I'm concerned, she has turned her late husband into a sideshow attraction, and you will see exactly what I mean by this a little later.
He was a medical engineer, very gifted engineer.
Yeah, he definitely was a gifted engineer. His name was David Crook. And honestly, I'm not going to make any jokes about that surname. That's too easy. David was an Englishman, a very important detail for later in the video. If I check out David's LinkedIn, under his education, it states that he attended Leicester University for 2 years. And in that time, he became a doctor.
My guests tonight are Dr. Heidi L. Hoke, along with her husband and business partner, Dr. David Crook.
So this means in 2 years, David obtained a Bachelor of Arts, a Master's, and a PhD in 2 years. Your average Bachelor of Arts will take you about 3 years, a Master's about a year, and a PhD anywhere between 4 to 6 years. Now, I don't know, maybe back in the 1970s, things were done a little bit differently at universities. But honestly, even if you were a mix of Albert Einstein, Tony Stark, and Megamind level genius, no established university is going to allow an 8-year path to obtain a doctorate be condensed down to 2 years, because the university itself would lose a shit ton of money. I could very well call Leicester University to check if David Crook is actually on their books, but I think that might be going a bit too far since, you know, the poor guy is dead.
We, through research, developed particular devices that could be used for astral projection and for an astral after near-death experience without the near-death.
Looks like a tesseract to me. More of these ghost hunting videos I watch, the more I think Thanos was definitely onto something.
This is one of the devices that was made by a very dear friend of ours when David was alive.
God, it looks like Ursula's sex toy.
It seems to be a vortex. It seems to attract the passage between levels, if you will.
Okay, a vortex. Sure. And what is Heidi's reason to think this thing is a vortex?
We have done the camera.
SLS?
SLS, thank you.
The SLS camera. The ghost hunter device that has been debunked more times than whenever Hulk Hogan opens his mouth.
We have seen figures literally born out between these prongs, come out and stand. That doesn't happen. That can be faked out in an SLS. An SLS camera doesn't create that kind of animation. But it was just like a birth.
When the SLS camera is desperately trying to find a human-shaped figure, because that's all it does, you wouldn't believe the weird shapes it forms and the odd things it creates. But it's not ghosts.
If you stand here long enough, it doesn't really take long. I'm already feeling it right now. You'll feel an electrical charge.
Is she drunk? A little.
There seems to be a beautiful foundation of spiritual sensitivity in this house, and not of evil.
That is interesting, since this is the thumbnail Colin went for in this video. So let's check out this little gem from a live stream years back when Colin seemed to actually care about the ethics of misusing words like demons and devil, and it wasn't all just about helping his videos in the YouTube algorithm.
I feel like, and this is my controversial opinion, when a lot of things like demons and religion get brought up in the paranormal, it really scares a lot of people. And I'm not saying that people aren't entitled to their own beliefs. That's like everybody's own thing. You can believe exactly what you want. I believe in what I want. You guys, everybody can believe in what they want. But I'm trying to distance the paranormal field from the kind of extremely scary demonic angle and the, really evil shit that people fear about the paranormal.
You lying son of a bitch.
Here is a screenshot of the last 8 Paranormal Files videos at the time of this recording. 5 of the last 8 videos has the word demon or devil in the title and or thumbnail. Who hurt you, Colin?
A little maid is seen running across here, a little teenage black cook maid, about this tall, cute little petite woman is seen running across here all very frequently, just in a scurry, trying to get dinner on,
There are so many of these nonsense claims. Did the maid die in the house? Unlikely, so why would she be haunting there? Why am I asking such dumb questions?
We have seen full body apparitions. There's an attachment to this.
I have seen doppelgangers. There's a little boy that's seen looking out the window from outside in.
This is highly haunted.
Pretty much the first 90 minutes of this 3-hour-long video is Heidi going through each and every single room and saying this.
This is highly haunted.
It gets pretty exhausting.
She reported that she was washing her hair and a third hand came up to the back of her hair and began to wash it like this.
Yeah, I've seen The Grudge too, and not the American one, the good one.
We know there was some tie to Bonnie and Clyde. They were here sometime and they did rent, and there's been EVPs that suggested that there was a presence of Clyde here.
Bonnie and Clyde died in Louisiana. They are buried in Dallas, which is about 90 miles away from this house. Why in the blue fuck would they be in this house that Bonnie and Clyde may or may not have stayed in at some point in their very short lives is anyone's guess.
This is crazy. Now this clown is like a pendulum. And I found this the other day and I couldn't resist it.
Oh my god, that's so cool.
Bring in the clown. So anyway, this clown is like a pendulum. And when there is spiritual activity, he will just start swinging on his own.
Couldn't possibly just be a windy attic. No, of course not. Must be supernatural.
So beginning with Native American history, we know that on this area of land, we can document at least one of 3 tribes referred to as the raccoon people. But raccoons are drawn to this space. I can't tell you how hard it is to keep the raccoons from finding some way to break into this particular space.
This might be some of the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my life. So because a Native American tribe went by the raccoon people, by the way, I couldn't find any evidence to back this up. All I could find was yet again more information that circled back to Heidi, but I could very well be wrong. I didn't look that hard into it. So let's just assume there was actually a native tribe called the raccoon people. And because they went by this name, that actual raccoons are drawn to the attic of this house. Bear in mind, those Native Americans would never have set foot in this house. And the house itself probably wasn't even built around this time, let alone the attic. Attributing raccoons being pests in your house to anything paranormal is absolutely ridiculous.
I don't know if that has a connection to the Indians that were on this land.
Probably not.
So you would say this place is haunted?
I would.
Yeah.
I would.
No fucking shit she thinks it's haunted. Heidi sees more ghosts in her house than St. Peter gets in the pearly gates.
I would say it was spiritually active.
Spiritually active.
Haunted, that word kind of suggests negativity.
So glad didn't put haunted in the title or thumbnail. Couldn't misrepresent this place by using negative words like haunted now, could we?
And so I can't say that it's a negative venue. It's not a negative spiritual place. It's just
demons! Oh my god, dude! It's demons! Ah, bro, dude! Etc, etc, blah, blah, blah. Insert cringy bullshit.
Heidi was talking to all of us and talking about how she is able to channel spirits and energies, kind of like a classic seance, using her voice to project what the spirits are trying to say.
For those of you who have not seen the original Paranormal Files video, you have no idea of the insanity that's to come.
This is where it gets really, really shocking with some of the responses. This is where it gets emotional. And just, yeah, this is a very different episode, but I think you guys are going to be really impressed by what we captured.
Get on with it. Yes, get on with it.
I worked with my husband with a particular device This device is very much like a crystal radio.
It can mean any kind of extraterrestrial entities that may be coming in and out. It can be ascended masters, it can be guides, spiritual guides, it can be angels, it can be ancestry.
Because you're a quack.
So if you combine copper as a electromagnetic conductor, and you visualize...
In other words, it's a crystal ball. Let's just skip the rest of this pseudo-science, mumbo-jumbo, double Dutch, hocus-pocus, gobbledygook gibberish, because this kind of bullshit rhetoric is littered throughout this 3-hour-long video. It's actually a big reason why it's a 3-hour-long video, because Heidi just doesn't stop talking. I cut a lot of the waffling out, so I best explain this in case you missed it. Heidi is attempting to conjure the spirit of her late husband, and any other ghosts that may be in that room with them, with this beautiful looking object that David, the late husband, built for her, as a means to communicate with him once he passed on.
Oh, can you imagine that? Can you imagine a majestic, beautiful piece of architecture like this being just thrown away like trash?
This would have been about the moment I'd put the camera down and just fucked off.
How much energy you have?
I have plenty of energy. I woke up this morning, I had my breakfast, and I'm studying, and I have plenty of energy, thank you.
So you have to energize at sunrise with a good breakfast.
What more energy do you need? You don't need to be in here.
Heidi's making my point here, guys. Just leave.
They're used to show people who don't believe in this sort of a thing that you're actually here.
You mean people with a basic perception of reality?
Who is this?
My name's Thorpe. I'm surprised you don't know me. I'm a very well-known man around town. If you do not know me, you may not belong in this town.
Which one of you idiots wrote this script?
Yeah, this is our first time here.
Papa Spook's face here is amazing to me. He looks shocked that Heidi, the woman who greeted them and gave them a tour around her house, couldn't possibly be privy to such well-known information that these guys are not local to the area. No, only a spirit talking through Heidi would have access to such classified information.
I scare women and children.
This is your brain on drugs. Any questions?
James, I'm curious to see if you can touch or move something in here. I mean, I know that you can.
No, he can't.
By the way, I want to introduce ourselves. My name's Colin.
I'm Jeff.
My name's Mary.
My name's Connor.
And I'm the adopted son side-eye guy. I don't often get invited to these family trips for some reason.
Emily.
And my device says, right after, says she scares me. Does Emily scare you?
Lots of women in my family scare me.
I thought you scared women.
Damn, Mary doing my job for me here. Heidi can't even stay consistent with the character she created.
How many spirits are here with you?
Too numerous for me to count.
Yeah. That's better, Heidi. Don't give any specific answers. Keep your options open.
James, I would love for you to touch one of these lights in here for us. If you see the red lights that are everywhere, you think you could do that for us?
I will do so in my own time.
In other words, whenever they go off randomly. Seriously, how can anyone believe this? I often get accused of being closed-minded, but when you become this open-minded, your brains fall out.
Hello? It's nice to be here.
So next up, David, Heidi's deceased husband, enters the chat. Oh yeah, remember when I mentioned earlier that David was English? Well, apparently, Heidi remembers him as the Wicked Witch of the West.
It's nice to be here.
My little party's just beginning.
I thought you'd never call me.
Usually I like Colin's editing, but this is so cringy, overused, and over-dramatized. I can see the REM pod went off at the same time David appeared, but come on, mate. All the over-top sound effects in the world isn't going to make any of this any more convincing.
David...
For God's sake, stop it with the piano key sound effects.
Do they call you by a certain name, or how'd they address you? Your children. Your children. Your children. Your children.
Well, this is like fingers down a blackboard for me already.
Relations such as that, other than Laurel, who was my stepdaughter that I really loved.
God damn, her English accent is as bad as when I try and do an Australian accent. G'day, mate. Put another shrimp on the barbie. Shrimp on the barbie. Shrimp on the barbie. Shrimp on the I've been living here over 10 years and I still can't do an Aussie accent. Anyway, I found this clip of David and Heidi in a podcast so you can actually hear what David sounds like, and then you can judge for yourself how good Heidi's impression of David is.
I was wandering around a bookshop and randomly opened up a book.
It's nice to be here.
I Am Jode, I believe. And he was talking about perspective.
Can you maybe try to move an object in here or tap on something, make some sort of a noise?
Colin asks this so many times, but of course it never happens. But to be fair, you get an A for effort here, Colin.
I wasn't ready to leave her. I'm so sorry.
I know I've made a few jokes here to keep things as light as I possibly can, but to be serious now, at some point we have to address the elephant in the room, even if the Paranormal Files will not. Heidi is grieving her husband's passing, and this is why the paranormal can be dangerous, in my opinion. And I don't mean dangerous in that kind of demon, devil kind of bullshit way that Colin loves to exploit, but I mean dangerous in a very real psychological level. If someone believes that they saw the spirit of a recently deceased loved one, and that brings them comfort, then great. I'm not going to shit on that at all. But it can go too far, like what is happening here with Heidi. This has gone way too far. And it seems to me that Heidi is not grieving in a healthy way. And then we have to ask if the Paranormal Files are just exploiting Heidi here. Because if I was in their position and I was watching this unfold before my eyes, I would not feel comfortable filming this and uploading it to YouTube, even if Heidi gave me her consent to do so. This all just feels so weird and wrong, and surely I can't be the only one who thinks so.
We're gonna start moving on to another part of the house. Is there anything else you'd like to share with us?
No. Protect Heidi. She's here alone in the house, but she's a force of nature.
And the English accent has completely disappeared. I am going to add this little clip in that was recorded earlier in the video, just for a little extra context.
I knew this for about 2-3 days, but I just came in here to clean after my partner had been in here, and somebody was mad about him being in here.
I'm not sure if Heidi means a business partner, but she does refer to this partner as a he. It doesn't really sound like a business partner to me, so there is a chance that Heidi is moving on in her own way. But I don't really know. This is the only time she says the word partner in the video, and she's clearly talking about someone living, not her ex-husband. Anyway, I'm going to skip the rest of David's time and get into the next character that Heidi has created out of thin air.
Margaret Annabelle Bracken. So glad you came in for tea. Does anybody need anything to drink? I'll be happy to go in the kitchen. I have some coffee and I have some tea, and I just made a nice sponge cake. Would anybody like some of that?
Flowers for me. I do declare, Mr. Beauregard.
So my device just said
sin and gunshot, and we were just talking about secrets.
Yes.
Was someone murdered with a gun here?
No. Heidi covered up a gunshot through that window. David didn't like it.
Who shot the gun?
Oh, some kids with their BB guns.
Again, it didn't take Heidi long to forget to keep up the accent that she just made up. For anyone to entertain this is absolutely ridiculous. One of the things I like about the Paranormal Files is that they find these unique people that other channels don't. But this can also be a double-edged sword, because it makes them look ludicrous entertaining this nonsense.
I think we're gonna end.
Yes! 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 Yes!
They really don't want to end it.
They don't want to end the session.
No! 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 Fuck! Shit!
The darkness you feel is collective sadness and grief.
Well, wouldn't that make a lovely greeting card?
Is there something hiding in this house?
Surprise, motherfucker!
What is it? Or who is it?
J. H. Randall.
I've already cut out a bunch of other times Heidi brings up J.R. Randall, but he's the big bad spirit in the house. Now, it's important to note, she never calls him demonic. He is supposed to just be a nasty spirit.
Is he upstairs?
He's everywhere.
Should we be afraid of him?
And again with these sound effects. I can't prove this, but I heavily suspect that these REM pods are being tampered with somehow. And if you watch this video right here, I get Kenny Biddle on to explain how the REM pods can be manipulated and faked. I'm not saying 100% the Paranormal Files are doing this. I'm just saying I'm suspicious.
So if we go up there, we might run into him right now.
He moves between the front two rooms of the carriage house.
Is that you saying you don't want us to leave?
I'm done with this bullshit. Let's hurry things along to the family investigation, because I've still got another hour left of this bloody video to get through. This is the last we see of Heidi. I'm not a mental health professional, but surely this is an unhealthy way of dealing with grief. All jokes aside here, I genuinely hope Heidi is doing well and moving on with her life in a healthy way.
I'm sorry to end this. It's such a pleasure being with you all. I'm glad I had an opportunity to speak through Heidi.
We can't thank you enough.
Well, thank you for wasting everyone's time!
Okay guys, so we're upstairs right now in the top portion of the OP Pile house.
Oh, D!
Oh my god.
D! Give me a D! D!
That's crazy.
Okay, David, if that's you, can you continue to use this device like you did downstairs and spell your name?
For God's sake, can we please let the David thing go?
I feel lost.
Did you just hear
Aren't you being
Oh my gosh, there was just a noise over in the corner back here.
Ghost box?
What does that mean?
Hello?
Bad entities here.
I swear the Paranormal Files make their videos this long so dickheads like me don't make shit videos like this. That and way more ad revenue. I mean, it's probably more the latter, let's face it. Anyway, this kind of nonsense goes on for ages, and I'm going to start fast forwarding this video to preserve whatever sanity I have left.
I'm having fun.
That makes one of us.
Whoever's up here, we need to have a distinct sign from you that you're here. Because it's really confusing. There's so many different spirits that are here. Just tell us one thing about you.
I'm dead. Anyway, they head to a different part of the house where J.H. Randall, that bad guy spirit, is supposed to be lurking. And just like in all the other Paranormal Files videos I have made videos on, the final stretch is always a bit of a struggle. But it's okay, because Colin adds this in to keep me hopeful that something interesting will happen.
You're going to see that what happened to us in there was unbelievably bizarre. Buckle up, this is about to blow y'all's minds.
We're having a whoop fest! Oh my God!
Just so everyone's aware, this is bullshit.
This is the carriage house behind us, where the negative thing is. In the last 15 minutes, I've started to get angry and frustrated.
You don't know the half of it, Sunshine.
I think I might be being affected by something.
Oh, don't talk bollocks!
Make some sort of a noise. We want to know that you're here with us.
What?
This is just my theory, but to me, it looks like Colin is the only one that reacts to these knocks. Everyone else is startled by Colin's scream. I'll slow this down so you can see what I mean. They do not react to these knocks at the time the knocks happen in the video, and the knocks were definitely loud enough that everyone should have heard them. Connor and Jeff do not react to anything until they see and hear Colin's screams. It's the same for Mary. I think Colin added in the double knock as an overlay while he's editing this video. Since, as far as I'm aware, Colin is the one who edits all of the Paranormal Files videos. So he would have known at the time of filming when he would put in the overlaid sound effects of the knocks. After Colin's scream, you can even hear Mary ask, what?
What is it? What was it?
Because she doesn't know what startled Colin, because she didn't hear anything. At the time that the knocks happened, I don't see anyone else's hands or feet being able to create that noise. So I don't think it's anyone else faking this. Again, this is just my opinion, or at least an alternative explanation.
What is it? What was it?
Knock.
See what I mean? Nobody else confirms that they heard the knocks, only Colin.
What are you waiting for? You trying to scare us?
Hey, come up here. We're calling you out.
Ooh, you're hard showing off.
Before we start this EVP session...
Before you even start this EVP session, I'm going to skip it, because I am pretty much over watching EVP sessions. This video has been so stupid to watch that I don't even remember who I am anymore.
That was so weird. The other night.
Yeah, right after you say no. We hear like you're mean to women, but how about men? Are you a weakling?
You cannot push spirits around!
Why are you so angry? Can you tell us why you're so angry?
Yeah, Colin is terrified. You can practically hear the adrenaline coursing through his veins.
Oh, it's huge.
That's what she said.
Really tall, you got it?
Yeah.
Mary's right. Hold on. Do you feel anything, Mary?
As I mentioned at the start of the video, the SLS camera is a load of old bollocks, so I'm going to skip the rest of it. But I do have to include this little gem from Connor here.
It seemed in the carriage house that JH was there and he wanted to speak to us, but we just couldn't hear him.
I swear to God, these guys write their own jokes. I need to hear that again.
JH was there and he wanted to speak to us, but we just couldn't hear him.
Jesus Christ.
And so we decided to break out the Estes method.
Okay, so guys, I'm going to go into the Estes method.
For those of you who watched my previous Paranormal Files video, you may remember that twat with the white mask, not me by the way, I'm the other twat with the white mask, who goes by the name Paranormal Party Pooper, and he rudely gate crashed my last video playing a remix of Colin's Estes session.
Jesus, dead coming, it's a monster.
Well, I don't care how many of you enjoyed that. I am not having Paranormal Party Pooper stealing my thunder yet again. The bastard. So this time, it's Colin's dad, Jeff, who does the Estes session. And surely he cannot be as ridiculous at doing this as his son.
Okay, so to whoever's here, we want to just ask first, who are you?
It said Peter.
You know.
He did?
Yeah.
Oh
He
my
said
gosh. That is.
Wait, did Jeff say Peter?
He said Peter.
Can you just tell us the name of a spirit that's here?
Get her! Get her! Get her! Get her!
Jeff said, get her. Clear as day.
Get her!
I have no idea where they got Peter from, but of course for the rest of the Estes session they keep saying the name Peter over and over and over again. Later on in the Estes session Jeff does say the name Peter, but I'm not buying it. Faked or coincidental, I've done enough Estes sessions myself to know it's just annoying gibberish.
Peter!
Oh god.
Baby.
Oh no. Oh no. It's him.
Okay, you guys ready? Let's party. Bang, baby. Bang, baby. Bang, baby. Fuck me, whore. Tickle me, bitch. Get me a bottle. Howdy. Dead. I'm dead. How to go? I'll knock you out. Give me a double. It's raining. You little boy. White boy. Demon. Baby. Demon. Baby. Eat you. Baby. Bang. Move over. Smile. You're ugly. I give up.
That was fun.
Really?
I'm sorry, dude.
What the fuck?
I was joking earlier about the motherfucker stealing my thunder, but he really did. Triple P, you're an annoyingly talented bastard. Anyway, enough of him. The Estes session goes on for 30 fucking minutes. And when that's over, they finish the video off with some DR60 nonsense, so I'm going to skip all of that bullshit and just get to the end of the video because I can feel my chromosomes rapidly aging. I know I've taken some shots at these guys, but for some reason, I do actually like the Paranormal Files. Some questions I think need to be raised about the ethics of what I just watched in this video, and I'm well aware I have made fun of Heidi myself, but I genuinely hope she is able to grieve the loss of her husband in a healthy way. So that's the end of the video. Please tell me your thoughts in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Cheerio!
Make a wink and a laugh, he'll make you feel alive.